Thank you, my brother Innocent, the CEO of HiPipo. I'm honored to be here, definitely, during this time when you celebrate 40 days of 40 FinTechs. But before that, I would like to request you to stay safe. That is by giving you a message from COVID-19. I've seen we are in an enclosed place, and many of you have decided to feel so comfortable and forgotten the masks. Those masks are equivalent to 80%. Now, if 80% of us put on the masks, are equivalent to a complete lockdown. So kindly keep the masks on so that we don't, so that we keep our country safe. I would like to thank HiPipo for organizing this function, the various members from the FinTechs, all our invited guests, the media, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Karubanga, and I'm the Minister of State for Public Service. There's no such a moment like this which I would have loved to attend. FinTechs are driving the country into the best direction, where government has a very limited role. I was talking to my friend Innocent, and he told me there are about 68 FinTechs. I see most of you are in the .com era. The banks are quite few, and we've had challenges. So government appreciates the role of FinTechs. They play a very big role, especially in financial services and by promoting financial inclusion, which is for socioeconomic transformation. Especially, it impacts greatly to the people at the bottom of the pyramid. I've had many presenters here and the panelists talking about the bottom of the pyramid. That is the biggest region we are all interested in. And I would really like to thank you for complimenting government in addressing that challenge of financial inclusion. The population of Uganda is about 42 million. Before the advent of the FinTech, we had serious challenges. But when you go down there, you realize that we are really beginning to create a very big impact. Of course, there are challenges which have been mentioned: internet access, the cost of data, and as you know, Uganda is a mountainous country in some areas. I've had the figure for our internet access is quite low compared to some of our countries, but we have hope we'll go there. We have a challenge of illiteracy. It is still big, and you have to accept. That's why I had one of the panelists talking about the simplicity of the user interface. It's still a big problem. Many people feel that some of these platforms are so difficult, they can't really use them. So if you can innovate more by having simpler interfaces, the Kabiriti way from Kamudin, I think that one will help us so much. Of course, we have challenges of these hackers, what we call those are IT terrorists. If you neglect that, you can really collapse in one day. So those hackers, information or system security through the piracy is a big challenge, which we know as government. But government is trying to do a lot to make sure that they collaborate with international organizations to address the issue of hackers. Recently, you could have read in social media where some good Africans from Nigeria, actually I don't know what I should call that one, very rich, good following, but if you follow, it is through hacking. So that challenge is big, and I know most of you, the FinTechs, you are experiencing it. And many times when you are hit, you don't cry loud. But we are requesting you to bring up these challenges, especially of the hackers, to government so that conclusive investigations are done and the culprits are brought to book. What is government doing? Of course, some of these challenges are driven by the market forces, for example, the cost of data. But for connectivity, government is doing a lot. Recently, you had the license for MTN renewal was delayed. Of course, there is a policy which government has put in, and that is all aimed at ensuring that the wananchi have quality access, faster links, expanding the connectivity, the access, as opposed to being where there are pockets of clients only, and that is one of them. Government has been expanding the national broadband interconnectivity, that is the NBI, through the laying of optic fiber. Okay. Government has done that, and almost the entire country is being connected, so government is doing a lot. Government has put up the state-of-the-art innovation hub that is now called an innovation village. So many innovators are called upon to take advantage of this, and there is considerable funding from government. Of course, there is the issue of tariffs. These ones are determined at parliamentary level. I know most of you could have gone to the OTT, but that one is not so big. But if you compare our cost of internet, of course, we are a bit far from the sea. Our internet connection is not so expensive. I would like to call upon you to take advantage of this policy of government, especially encouraging the usage of homemade solutions, because that's our policy. We have many systems which are still manual, but government has put in place a policy of BUBU, Buy Uganda, Build Uganda. And on this, even we're encouraging the usage of homemade solutions, where we have many of our youth, local companies, to take up that challenge, as opposed to buying a very expensive solutions from abroad. Of course, I would like to thank HiPipo, finally, for organizing this, the partners, and the panelists. Of course, not forgetting the FinTechs for this wonderful presentation. And as I conclude, I'd like to request you to stay safe by ensuring that you practice the safe measures of having the mask on, of washing your hands frequently, and keeping a safe distance. I thank you.